Flosstube, welcome back. My name is Teresa. This is the Garden Goose Stitcher Flosstube. I think it's number 34. I'm going to tell you, I went and checked several times, and then the dogs barked, and I just keep forgetting, and I'm sorry. I know it's February 5th, I think. It's been a month since I checked in. It's been crazy busy over here. I think in my last video, I let you know that there were like 4 days in the month of January without hockey, and yeah, but I have been keeping my poop in a group, and so like my house is clean all the time, which is nice, or at least like not like neglected. So it was something had to be neglected. I'm sorry, it was Flosstube. But I stitched, but I also mopped regularly. All the laundry's been done in a timely manner. Dinner's been on the table in a timely manner. So I've been balancing. We have 2 weeks left of hockey, varsity hockey. I'm sure there'll be a minute break and then spring hockey. Can't wait. But really, it's been such a joy to watch Nathan play on this team. Unfortunately, there was an injury for one of the defense seniors, so Nate's been playing a ton more, which is great because he's like one of the young kids. We call him the baby, so whenever the baby shift is out, we're like, who's watching him? Which senior upperclassman is watching him? Because there's no JV team. It's just, anyway, so a lot of hockey. It's been great. Our weather's been wacky. I don't know, but the last like 3 days, not today, but the 3 days prior, we had sunshine in Michigan. And like everybody is high as a kite on vitamin D, natural, like just the mood elevation that recently went up, man, it's ideal. Today it's cloudy again. But anywho, what were we talking about? I've been busy. I'm sorry, I've been missing you. And so here I am now. We have 2 weeks left of hockey. The minute hockey is over, I'm going to the retreat down in Florida. Actually, it's like the day after. So, and then I'm really excited about that because I'll get to see some stitchy friends and get some natural vitamin D down there as well. We're going early. The boys are coming with me. We're doing our spring break at the Sheridan Sand Key Resort place. It looks fancy schmancy. And so we decided to extend it. You could add on dates. So, and I'm really excited. But that's all that's been going on. I've been stitching a bit. Is that true? I don't know. I have one fully finished object, and it might surprise you. But I pulled this out the other day. Oh, Allison Norris. Alley Cat 13. Is it Alley Cat 13? Allison... she's on Instagram. She doesn't have a Flosstube. Why not? But she's on Instagram, and she in January issued a challenge. What was it called? A finishing frenzy, using one's hoard of Chantel 141 design finishing pieces to finish one per month in this year. And I signed up immediately. I was like, I'm in, because I do have quite a few, and I would like to use them, and I've been scared. This is the first one I think I've fully finished, other than the one I did at the retreat. So I did this one the other day. I made a little reel on Instagram. You may have seen it. Also, I'm back on Instagram. I feel like I did an elimination diet. Like, I like clean. So if you want to find me over there, I'm there. But I did a little reel of me. It was like, if you go to Chantel for your finishing tutorials, it was like a wish.com finishing. But I did it. I had old crappy paint, but I'm going to go get some new paint and for the rest of the year. Listen, January got away from me. I technically finished this in February 1st. But I took this out of my bin and I finished this up, and I'm really happy with it. It's a new creation. Be still. That might be true. I stitched this back in August with my friend Holly and a bunch of other friends, and I just love it. And now it's finished. It's gonna sit on my hutch, and I just really, it's a nice piece. I have my next one. Listen, my next one I'm not gonna do at the last minute. I'm gonna go get proper paint and a sealer, and maybe some new sanding. I don't know. It's just going to be real better. But also, even if you're just using what you have, like my wood glue was old and I said, honey, can I get the wood glue? And he brought me we have Gorilla wood glue. And I shook it and I went to turn it upside down and the whole spigot came out. And I said, what? And he's like, oh yeah, you got to use this. And he hands me an old crappy screwdriver. And I said, what do you mean we have to use this? Why doesn't the spigot work? He's like, it doesn't. You just stick the screwdriver in there, smear some on there, and then wipe it on whatever you're... And I said, why do we live like this? So I thrown it away. I'm going to get some new wood glue. Chantel has a recommendation for something else, but it got the job done. And I learned a lot more about my husband. Even after 22 years, he can still surprise me. I'm sure he learned that stuff while he worked for the government. Okay, so I had that fully finished object. Also, if you want to go over and follow the Finishing Frenzy on Instagram, I recommend you do it. And a couple other people have shown what they were finished, and it's real motivation. Love that. Okay, so in January, last time we spoke, I had just finished my blessing sampler, and I was working on my first new start, I believe. Is that true? Had I finished? No, I don't think so. Okay, so I worked on this for several days. Well, it took me like over a week, and I was frantic. Also, this is not fully done. I still have to put that weird string in there. And I'm nervous. I'm probably going to procrastinate on it. Maybe till next winter. But I was stitching this, and my friend Megan had decided to stitch it along with me. And she said, I worked on it for 2 days and sent me a picture of it, and it was nearly all done. And here I'm on day 6 or 7, and I thought, how did she do that so fast? And so the whole time I just kept thinking, Megan is maybe the fastest stitcher I know. I don't know. But, so I got this done. I just need to put that string that goes to hold up the banner, the pennants, the burr pennants. But I do love this. And I do love that Cosmo 100 thread. I ordered some more. Hold on, the dogs are going to bark. I think we're good. This is a Brenda Gervais. I believe this is 18 count boardwalk. And I did a color and cotton conversion. One moment. It wasn't the mail lady. It was just a leaf or something. So anyway, I did a color and cotton floss conversion. I don't know if I showed it last time or if I wrote it down. Did I? But I do love it very much. So that is finished. My second finish. But out of my 24 by 24, that was the first one. My second for January, which was 24 and 24, but it came from the 12 by 12. You got to keep all that straight, you guys. It was from this magazine. And I think I perhaps committed a crime because I pulled out the pattern from this magazine, but it was super bulky. It was this pattern here from Punchy No Primitive 2020 Christmas, and it was this pattern here by the Nebby needle. Isn't that pretty? Started this the first hour of 12 by 12 on New Year's Eve. I got a bit done, and I sure did love stitching on that blue house. Let me see what the facts are. Let's talk about facts. This is 16 count Vapors. And I did a conversion. I used some DMC. I used some fancy floss. No, I didn't. I lied. I used all DMC except for the Cosmo White. And it made a big difference. Also, please don't zoom into that. Wonky French knot. Please don't zoom in on it. It's bad. Listen, all of my French knot, I got about a 50-50 ratio of weird and looking okay. So that was my second finish. That means my 2 January 12 by 12 allotted projects. Check, check. And then I attacked my whips. And if you remember, I'm not doing Whip Go. However, then I heard Callie, you know Callie from the Floss Bustin' Cousin. She was talking in some place. And basically they're doing their heifer board. And if a number is called, like number 26 is called, and no, it wouldn't be number 26. Number 25 is called. If number 25 is called and you finish number 25, you would put $25 in your little spending money and collect it throughout the year. And so technically I'm totally doing that. I have never thought of rewarding myself that way. There is a reward system on my WIPCO board where if I get a finish, I get $5. If I get this or that or whatever. But that one makes it even more exciting because it's $22 if you get number 22 done. So, this is what I'm cheating. This is how I'm cheating. Whatever Jessie Marie Does Stuff calls for WIPCO, I'm going to take the whips I have planned for that month because I've just seasonally sorted my whips. So I'll be seasonally stitching them. I'm going to put them in the whip board after. So number 22 is called, I believe. Why do I keep pulling that number? But, so number 22 and I think 2 or 4 or something was called. So I put my whips I had planned into those slots. See, so it's cheating. But I'm still rewarding myself. This was the whip that came up. It's the February Prairie Schooler. And it's the big one. I had a small start. I think I had just the bottom of this little motif thing done. And I think I had some of the numbers stitched. The horse. The horse was legit. I stitched on this for many, many days. And I don't really want to talk about it. But it's got problems. And I'll tell you why. No, I'm not telling you why. Basically, I should label my white threads better. Because I always think I'll be able to tell Blanc from 5200. And that's false. So we're going to show it from back here. And remember that only God is perfect. So I did finish it though. Lovely stitch. I need to fully finish it, obviously. It's February. That means that January is representing longer than it expected to. But so that one was done. That was, oh, I think I talked about that. No, I did not. I think almost all of those Prairie Schoolers I've stitched on coffee tea dye, but that I think is some other fabric. It's probably that Fortnite fabric that I love. That Caravan Tan, I betcha. Wanna bet? I love Caravan Tan. Okay, then I had a problemo, like the best kind, because the other January whip I had planned, I ended up finishing in just December, just because I was on a roll and I got it done early. So I pulled out a couple of Valentine whips. I had quite a few Valentine whips because I was heavy on the St. Patty's and Valentine's last year when I did March Madness. I'm not doing that this year, by the way. Well, maybe. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But that would be fun. It always is. Anywho, I have a bunch of Valentine's Day whips that are like cute and just got a little bit of attention because they were a one-day stitch last year. Pulled up Bent Creek ROWmance. And I got it done. I think I had through G. So that was a pretty significant, let's see, maybe I'll say that for darn. That was a pretty significant start, don't you think? I had it through G. So I got it done. I did a lot of stitching in the car. Almost, listen, we had hockey like every day. This is a coffee tea dyed. I think it's a 16 count. I think that we only had 1 or 2 away games the entire month of January. The next 2 weeks, we have 3 away games. So, that's difficult. Okay, the next one I pulled out was another random whip, and it was Valentine's as well. This was Emily Call Valentine. I think it's called Valentine. I did not print it out the cover page. I just print out the pattern because I'm cheap on ink. Although I got that Epsom EcoBoost. What's that? No. Is that a car? I don't know. I got that new Epsom printer that has the little tanks that you fill up. And I'm loving that thing. I'm telling you. Especially you, Kiwi. But, so I finished up this Emily Call Valentine. And, you know what was interesting? And I went back and looked. Trying to figure out if I did it wrong. But on her pattern, on the cover sheet, because I kept looking. this, on the pattern, these are fully full of stitches. Like every square is stitched. But on the sample, on her cover page, they're just they're just outlines. So I did one of each. I just made an executive decision. I love that. I did that a lot in the car too. I don't know why that was exactly. So those were my 3 finishes, 3 whips that got finished in January. So I finished 6 projects in January. 6. That's not chump change. That's pretty significant. So February, I had a new start that I was waiting to do a Sal Zoom start yesterday, Sunday the 4th. So I had a few days. I had 2 days left over in January to stitch something. And then I had 3 days in February to stitch something else. And I decided to pick up a whip. And because that's like 5 days, I could get going. So I picked up this whip, Love Always. This was a birthday sale for Tammy Totten when she turned 60. And I started this in October when I was at the Stitch New England retreat. And it's a beautiful, beautiful pattern. And the fabric I picked was, I don't know. Do I have a project card? Let's check. I'll be ding dang dong. Look at that. Got a project card. The fabric is 32 count flax. Ooh, yes, that's right. 32 count flax. And I did change a couple of them. I changed a couple of the Classic Colorworks. I think I changed to Bombay. I do love Bombay as a pink. So 32 count Belfast linen flax with some of the called for and some of it's been changed. Changed the brown on the roof and I changed the lightest pink, the outline of the house. So I stitched on that for a few days. I still have quite a bit more to do. A lot. But it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Absolutely fine. So while I was waiting to start my new start, I picked up that. Then last night, I got to start the friendship tree. This is not a birthday style because otherwise we would have started it today, but it was quickly shot down by a very humble, lovely friend. And she did not want a birthday sale hoopla, so we started it yesterday instead because this is America. I can start a piece for your birthday if I want to. She gifted some friends that pattern last summer, and so I just needed to pull out fabric. She even included floss, the pattern, a little canvas bag. It was very well thought out, so I thought it would be just a delightful birthday start. So last night I got the girl in the blue dress and part of the tree trunk. And today during school, I stitched the cat and the green lady and some of the branches. So this is my new start for February. And I've only stitched on it for like a day. And that's all. That's all. Is that all? I think so. So I want to stitch Friendship Tree and finish it. I think it's doable. I want to go back to Love Always and finish that. I have my 12 by 12 start, which was the gaggle of geese. I'm hoping to pick that up. And then my other whip that I have allotted for this month is a biggie. And I'm reevaluating my life. So that's what I have coming up. I also have an interesting... Okay. I'm going to that retreat. And I need to stitch something for the class. There's not a retreat piece. Like an assigned pre-stitch. But there was a pattern made available so that we could do a finishing class. It's a flat fold finishing class. I don't think I've ever done a... Is it a flat fold stand-up? Why do I not remember? I don't know. But, so at Beach Please, there's this pattern that was given to us, and we're supposed to stitch a quarter of it. So I'm going to stitch this little seagull part with the sailboat in the hoop. So I need to kit that up. That's part of my plans for February. I'm planning on just kitting it up and taking it with me. We have like 3 or 4 days in Florida before the retreat starts. I'm sure I could stitch that little thing up in 3 or 4 days. Yeah? Yeah. So that's on my horizon. And I can't think of anything else. I do have some haul to show. I have not bought any patterns. And I feel like that's a great accomplishment because I happen to have made a small field trip down to Craft Gallery to meet up with some girls who were at Situate. So they came up to Craft Gallery for an afternoon and I drove down, almost died in the snow. It was a horrible snowstorm. It was not predicted to be like that. And I went anyway because I really wanted to see them and hug their necks. But so I went to Craft Gallery. I have some haul from that. And so I'll show you what that's about. Okay, since I've seen you, I got my Flamingo Favorite Things box. And this adorable pattern by Emily Call was in there. And she included this really cute floss keeper. This is from Soulful Creations. Gosh, that's cute. Oh, yep, super cute. So the pattern, the floss, a cute sticker, some snowflakes, finishing thingy bobbers, some fabric to finish it, and a charm, like a little scissor fob charm. So that's super cute. So I'm really excited about that. Might not make it to stitch it till next month, but there's a Zoom I think this week. I think it's tomorrow. So I need to make sure I get there. When I went to Craft, oh, I have my coloring cotton. This must be from January, right? Yeah. Coloring cotton from January. And my 32 count. Gosh, this is pretty. 32 count mushroom bold. That's very pretty. So those are my regulars. Oh, I got my Grace Notes. This is really pretty. Sunset. Maybe I could stitch my seagull thingy-bobber on it. It's kind of pink for the sand. Does that matter? I don't think so. Pretty cute. That's beautiful fabric. I could stitch the... Oh, anyway. Okay. I also ordered some more Cosmo floss. And I'm actually going to tell you that I ordered this from Fat Quarter Shop. Super fast. Got here fast. And then... Is that right? Oh. Okay. So when I went down to Craft Gallery, I knew I was not going to buy a pattern. And also, if you're waiting for a pattern update... I have 3 patterns listed on my wish list so far. Market sneak peeks sure are getting thick out there. It's hard to step anywhere without finding a cool market sneak peek. But when some of friends were at Stitch Away, and this model, they were showing the annex. They did a swipe through or something. And this model was there from La Di Da Love Abides. And it's such a pretty pattern. I think I bought this in November when I was out in Colorado. And so I took that pattern with me so that I could kit that up. And it was lovely. I love kitting stuff up with friends. So it calls for DMC. There's a couple of week dye works that go with it. So I pulled all the DMC and then Missy and a couple of, everybody worked together. It was great to help me pull my floss for it. I ended up finding the called for it's 36 count Lakeside lentil. I don't know if that, 36 vintage lentil by Lakeside Linen. Yep. So I bought a 36 count linen and it is pretty. It's got some greeny undertones. I like that a lot. So I kitted that up, and that's a great method if you're trying to have a memento or enjoy your shopping experience without going pattern crazy, which is what I usually do. So, but I did buy some fabric as well. I bought some Vanilla C by R&R, 32 count. That is pretty. And some Picture This Plus Fog. That is pretty as well. So I got those, and then I grabbed a couple of her, she has little baggies of, I think these are 16 count and a 32 count. Just random little pieces. And I grabbed some old money because I've never seen old money in a store anywhere, or I can never find old money. I got 2 of them. And then I bought a couple of other random dark flosses because I think that something I pulled for that, for Lullabies, was like iffy. I couldn't find the right tone, so I grabbed a whole bunch of other dark stuff to, just in case, to add to stash. I also, oh man, okay. I was at a niece's birthday several weeks ago. Like, probably the week I checked in last. Like that Friday. And I was at this birthday party trying to be a good aunt. And I'm on Como Stitch's Friday night sale. And I missed it. So I bought some Hip Hop Hooray and a hunk of the fabric so I can make myself a project bag in this combination because hers was so cute. And I was sitting there and I was like trying to be social, and I was like, dang it, I hate you all right now. You made me miss it. But then Michelle Lee Quilts posted some of her bags a couple of days later, and probably because I was still sulking about having to make my own Hip Hop Hooray, I ended up buying a couple. This one is super pretty. I bought the thread beds too. And the Camille bag. Her stitching, her perfection. Also, I think that Jess did end up selling more Hip Hop Hooray bags, but I missed them. I miss them a lot. Also, just in case you were wondering, I've been keeping up on my book of days. Look at that. I've been keeping track of my finishes. I have a little picture from Craft Gallery, the stitching meetup with friends. So I did it. I've been doing it. Okay, that's all. Do I have plans? Will I check in? I don't know. I told you we have 2 weeks left of hockey and we have 3 away games. Like one day we have to go to Toledo, Ohio. And so I'll be stitching, but I'll probably check in after the retreat when hockey season is on a break. When I can just live my life normal for a minute. But I guess that was normal, though. It's become normal to go to the hockey rink a minimum of 5 days a week. Oh, also, I'm quilting. Oh, I did make a quilt. Can you believe it? I made a quilt. I'll insert a little picture. It's a bad picture because it is. But the quilt is beautiful. I made a quick little quilt out of the blue. I just thought it would be a sweet combination. And I love that fabric line. It's a French General Bleu de France. But I just made a quick little quilt with the layer cake. Thought it was sweet. Got that done. And then I decided I love sewing. I used to make 20 or more quilts a year. And if I was a nice, like, throw size quilt, like just something you'd sit on the sofa with, I could get that done in a weekend. Like, I just love the process and the gratification of finishing something. And so I don't know why I've stopped. I think it's because this sewing room is really tiny and I have no place to assemble the quilt. Like, it was too big for this design wall. There's no place on the floor to set things. I was a dining room stitcher for a long time, but I always had a floor space to put stuff on. So I'm not sure why I've been so... I haven't had Sojo lately for quilting, but finishing that sweet blue quilt, and it made me extremely happy. So I pulled out a whip, pulled out another quilt. It's a whip. It's Tula pink. Oh, what's it called? Anyway, what is it called? That's frustrating. I bought a fat quarter bundle of it a couple of years ago. No, it was like in 2018. I'm making this pattern, Village. I made one of these before. It was a rainbow one for a niece. And so I'm making another one in Tula Pink. And I want to have a beach. I want to use it at the beach. Zuma. So I just think it's so pretty. So bright. I'm going to make that quilt. I want to have a beach quilt that's like designated to be the beach quilt. It's okay if it's sandy. It's okay if it still smells a tad bit of sunscreen. Just so I can grab a quilt, grab a sandwich and pop and go to the beach for the day. So I'm going to leave those houses out for a while and be stitching them. So that's a plan. That's a plan I have too. Thank you so much for all of your kind comments. And I just appreciate all of your support and all of your kindness. Truly, truly, you guys are lovely to me. And even when I'm scattered. And even when I don't know my own name or the date. But I appreciate all of you. I hope that you've been watching. There's been so much Flosstube to consume lately. Last week I was actually going to do a Flosstube, but there was so much Flosstube that came up. I was too busy watching Flosstube. Have you been watching Chantel's new vlog style of Flosstube? Holy catfish. It is, like at first I was like, man, is she going to get her own show on PBS? This is so nice. Like it is such a nice program. It's my new favorite TV show. But I love her. I've been loving all the wet parades, all of everything, all the stuff. So, but anyway, I just want to say thank you so much for being so kind. And I'll check in probably right after the retreat because I'll probably have to put everything away and tidy up. But happy stitching, friends. Take care. Bye-bye.